according to a devastating report by the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.
The United Nations today issuing an urgent call for action.
With fires raging around the world, in Greece and Turkey and in California.
There's only so much time in Washington to get major substantive policy through before the House and the Senate start thinking about their election prospects, and that's coming up. And we just have less time than we thought, and the picture is not getting any better for us. Climate change hasn't always been a bipartisan issue if you haven't been paying attention.
We're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay, it'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
There's some concern that people who would need to take what could be considered a difficult vote on climate on the Democratic side of the aisle might not be willing to if they get closer to election time. Once the calendar flips to 2022, it's just too close to elections.
Without immediate and bold action, we are staring down ever-worsening floods and heat waves, droughts and sea level rise. The future of our planet looks bleak until we do something right now.
At this point, we've raised the Earth's temperature by 1.1 degrees Celsius compared to if we never had human-caused emissions. One of the grimmest pieces of news from this report, we are probably going to head past 1.5 degrees Celsius. Scientists say that at 1.5 degrees Celsius, we're really going to start to see irreversible effects of climate change. Things like continual glacial melt, extreme heat waves, stronger storms, more flooding. Every increment past 1.5 degrees Celsius, it gets even worse. The clearest call from the scientists is we need to move away from fossil fuels. We're already seeing the Biden administration set some lofty goals for reducing emissions.
The United States sets out on the road to cut greenhouse gases in half by the end of this decade.
The Senate has worked on a bipartisan infrastructure bill that contains probably the biggest investment in climate change in American history. What it does do is devote tens of billions of dollars to coastal resilience, but it still doesn't do enough. What the bill does not do is include robust investments for reducing carbon emissions. So what got dropped from that bill was billions of dollars for electric vehicle charging infrastructure and for electric vehicle rebates. Transportation is actually our number one emitting sector in the United States. So that is the biggest problem that the US has to solve when it comes to climate change at this moment in time.
They may be voted separately, but it is one infrastructure deal.
It's key that Senate Democrats have linked the just passed infrastructure bill to the upcoming $3.5 trillion reconciliation package because progressives want climate to be a strong focus in the spending plan, more so than it is in the infrastructure bill.
It's very, very bad policy, very, very damaging to the economy, and I will vigorously oppose it.
But what you will see are a lot of the Senate Democrats, like Ed Markey, like Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Senator Brian Schatz, really try to flex their muscle here and get Senate leadership like Chuck Schumer to get a big, robust package through. Now what scientists are saying is all the things that you've seen this summer, like heavy drought, heavy rainfall, wildfires, we can definitively link to climate change. And that is something that is new. Now we know it is a direct caused event from climate change. We'll see what happens going forward. The Senate bipartisan infrastructure plan is already on its way out the door. Whether the Democrats can stick together on a $3.5 trillion plan is uncertain.